Hello, my name is Hannah Leitza.
And I'm Mariah Jameson.
And you're watching The Drug Deal. Today, we're here to tell you about inhalants and the dangers of using them.
Inhalants are drugs inhaled as vapors for non-medical purposes to produce a high.
There are three main ways to inhale an inhalant. The first is sniffing, in which the drug is simply inhaled through the nose and into the lungs. The second is huffing, where a rag is covered in the substance and held up to the nose and mouth for a more concentrated high. The third is bagging, where a bag is filled with the substance and held over the nose and mouth or even over the head to produce an even more concentrated high.
After a while, inhalant users who are just sniffing the substance will not experience the same high that they usually get, so they will switch to huffing or bagging in order to get that same high.
Some examples of inhalants are highlighters and Sharpies,
Hairspray and nail polish remover.
Inhalants can be everyday items. Now, Mariah, aren't there four main categories of inhalants?
There are! Would you like to tell us about volatile solvents?
Of course. Volatile solvents is the first category, and it includes industrial, household, art, and office supply solvents. An example of industrial or a household supply solvent would be paint thinner, and an art or office supply solvent would be like correction fluids such as whiteout or felt tip marker fluid like Sharpies or highlighters. Now, Mariah, would you like to tell us about the next category of inhalants?
I would love to. Now, the next category is aerosol propellants. They're all sprays like hairspray, cooking spray, deodorant spray, computer cleaner spray, furniture spray. Anything that can come in an aerosol can is an inhalant. Now, Hannah, what is the next category?
Well, the next category is gases, and why don't you tell us about those?
Okay. Gases can be household, commercial, or even medical gases. Butane lighters, propane tanks, and whipping cream cans are three examples. Now, whipping cream cans have nitrous oxide, which can be inhaled. Medical gases are used mainly for anesthesia, for example, like chloroform and nitrous oxide. Now, Hannah, what is the least known type of inhalants?
Well, the least known group is nitrites, which includes amyl and butyl nitrites. Amyl nitrites you might know as poppers or snappers because of the sound they make when the container is opened. Amyl nitrites produce a stronger high, but they are now sold with a prescription since 1979. Users who used amyl nitrates have usually now switched to butyl nitrates, which aren't as strong but produce a similar high and are just as dangerous. Butyl nitrites are known as locker room or rush. And the downside to nitrites is that it can leave you exposed to HIV and other STDs and can increase your risk of tumor and other diseases.
Well, that doesn't sound like it's worth it.
It's not. So inhalants are actually their own group. They produce psychoactive effects, which means effects on the brain or behavior. Now, Mariah, why do inhalants produce effects at all?
Because of the chemicals inside of them. For example, one of the three chemicals that are most used is toluene?
Toluene.
Toluene. Now, toluene is found in flavorings, sweeteners, paint, and it is the last T in TNT.
You mean like the TV channel?
No, I mean like dynamite.
Oh, I don't want that in my body.
Hannah, can you tell us about the next chemical that is most commonly used?
Oh, fluorocarbon?
Yes.
Fluorocarbon is a halocarbon, which means that the hydrogens in this molecule have been replaced with fluorines. It's long-lasting and it's used in anesthesia. Now, Mariah, isn't there one last chemical that we're forgetting?
There is, and you might actually know the name of this one. Nitrous oxide. It's colorless, non-flammable, and has a sweet smell. Now, nitrous oxide is an approved food additive that is found in whipped cream, and it replaces the oxygen in bags of potato chips so that the chips will last longer. It is also used in medicine for its pain-relieving qualities. So, Hannah, aren't there some kind of stages for inhalant use that you would go through?
Yes, and these stages don't have fancy names. They're known as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3,
and let me guess, stage 4?
Correct. These stages get progressively worse as they go on. Stage 1 begins as the high. This has the good feelings like euphoria, excitation, exhilaration, but also has coughing, sneezing, and vomiting.
Now, the second stage gets worse, with confusion, ringing in the head, paleness, and blurred or double vision.
And stage 3 only gets worse. Mariah, why don't you tell us about that?
Well, stage 3 provides drowsiness, uncoordination, slurred speech, depressed reflexes, and nystagmus. Why don't you tell us what nystagmus is?
Nystagmus is a condition in which the eyes vibrate back and forth very rapidly. It's an involuntary action.
No, stage 3 sounds pretty bad. How can stage 4 get any worse?
Well, I'll tell you. Stage 4 includes unconsciousness with strange dreams, seizures, and EEG changes. Now, it's not that complicated. It just means changes in your brainwaves, which can be very bad.
Is there just one thing that can happen in any of these stages?
There is, and that one thing isn't very pleasant. It's
What is
not
it?
the high. It's death.
Oh.
You can die on the first time you use from an allergic reaction or from a condition that Mariah will tell us about.
Yes, that condition is called SSD, sudden sniffing death. It usually occurs after a long concentrated use of inhalants. It is a condition in which the heart beats quickly and irregularly, causing heart failure, leading to death.
Sudden sniffing death is one of the main causes of death in the use of inhalants. Do you know another?
Yes, inhaling your own vomit.
That sounds disgusting.
It really does.
So, with all of these bad things that can happen from using inhalants, why do people use inhalants, Mariah?
Well, think about it. They're cheap, easy to get to. Like, I'm sure you have Sharpies and hairspray at your house, don't you?
That's true.
And you can walk right into a hardware store or a
Office store?
or even a Walmart, and you can pick these up and no one would think twice about it.
That's true. Now, what age group would you say uses inhalants?
Well, 1 in 4 students use an inhalant purposely to get high by the time they reached 8th grade.
That's really sad. That means kids younger than high schoolers are using inhalants, and this can kill them. Now, Mariah, why should you not use inhalants?
The obvious reason, you can die. And even if you don't die, there are some reversible damages like blood oxygen depletion,
Liver and kidney failure?
Yeah, but then there are permanent damages like,
well, one example would be bone marrow damage and permanent hearing loss. Listen, inhalants are not worth it. The high that you experience may be quick, but it is also very short-lived, lasting only 15 minutes. And the longer you use, the more you need. This is causing more and more damage. Death is a very possible result of using inhalants. Now we're going to cut to a clip that will tell you exactly what to tell your friends if they're using inhalants.
cut.
Hey, bro!
Hi!
Want to get up in this with me?
What does that mean?
Sniff.
No, that's bad for you. See, it can kill brain cells.
What you talking about, fool?
See, you can die even just from one use. You have your whole life ahead of you. You shouldn't be doing this. You can die.
You can die?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what?
What?
You're right. Thanks, friend.
So that's what you should do if a friend or anyone you know is using inhalants.
Yes, thank you for watching, and I hope this has prevented you from using inhalants and will encourage you to tell your friends not to use them either.
Join us next week for our segment on meth.
And that's the deal on inhalants. Goodbye.
Bye. Hello, chairs. Excuse me.
The things I go through for Miss Christian. This is the reason why we cringe during our video. This thing sprays water at us periodically. I'm just letting you know.
Water pool.
Awkward pool.
I'm wet.
I've been expecting you.
Okay.
Condoleezza.
I'm Mariah Jameson.
No, you're not.
I am Mariah Jameson. There's nothing you can do to stop that.
Opposite lightsaber.
Highlighters. Do you see what I have to work with?
Forgot my name, guys.
Crutches.
And then held over the nose and mouth or over the head to produce a better. You didn't think that one through.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. Do you see what I have to work with? Excuse me.
But you amateurs.